Hey, what's up? It's Matt in Japan, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Paleotrex. And this guy is really cool. Can't wait to get him open and see what he's all about. I just think this concept for the new Kingdom line with the fossilizers being able to arm up all the other figures is a really cool idea. And basically it replaces the Battle Masters or the Weaponizers from previous lines. So let's get into the packaging. And on the front there, you see Paleotrex in his Dino, sort of fossil Dino mode. Really loving the colors that they use. Very nice sepia tones, earth tones. And there he is in his robot mode, looking very scary and menacing. Really love that image. A lot of cool detail on this artwork. You see him sort of kicking up some dirt here and some plants and the fire and the crashed Decepticon ship in the background. Just this attention to detail on the box art is always just impresses me so much. So I'm not going to spend too much time. You get your Kingdom image on the side of the box. On the back of the packaging, you have your product shot. There he is, Paleotrex in his robot mode. He pulls apart and converts in 32 steps into his fossil Dino mode. And we'll see, we'll bring out Kingdom Warpath later on to see how he fits in with him. So very, very cool, and can't wait to get this guy open. So without further ado, let's get Paleotrex opened up and see what he's all about. Okay, so here we have Paleotrex out of the packaging, and let's take a look at him up close and personal. Let's start with the head sculpt. Very, very nice. You have some yellow paint for the eyes. Some nice sculpted detail on the forehead and the lower mouthpiece. Very, very cool. And I really like what they did with this sort of brown wash, the sort of brown paint over the beige plastic. Gives it a really nice weathered look, almost aged, sort of muddy look. So it's very fitting for this character. It's very, very well done. A lot of nice, also there's some nice color fade here. A lot of nice detail as far as the paint is concerned. So, going around the figure too, the sculpted detail is just amazing. Just so much of it all over the place on this upper arm part here, on the chest plate, as far as the ribs and the bones on the arms, the lower legs, everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's just amazing sculpted detail. So really, really cool. Really happy with the way this figure turned out. Again, you have the Dino head sort of sticking on the back, but I don't think that's such a big deal. And we'll get more detail when we have him in his Dino mode. As far as articulation goes, his head can do a 360, and it is on a ball joint, so you have some up and down movement. Nothing really side to side. His shoulder can do a 360 there. He does have a bicep swivel here. Bicep swivel there. He has about a 90 degree at the elbow there. There is a hinge joint at the wrist, so you can get some really nice wrist articulation. And there's nothing at the thumb, but there's another hinge here for the fingers, so you can get some nice movement on the fingers there. So highly articulated in the arms. At the waist, you have a full 360 because of the nature of the figure, how he pulls apart. So these are all just joints like that you can just pull apart. There's a ball joint at the upper thigh, so he has some thigh movement there. And he gets about a 90 degree at the knee. And he does have a swivel at the knee as well. Now, there is no ankle rocker joint. This whole piece is just one molded piece of plastic. There is a heel spur here that sort of folds down, but there's no ankle articulation. There is this sort of side pivot at the knee. So he does have a little bit of trouble standing up, but not too bad. So he's kind of just because of his nature, he's very tall and lanky. So a little bit of trouble standing up, as you can see. It's all about, I think, the balance between his legs and his arms. So once we can get him stood up, I want to take his head off. So let's pull his head off there, and hopefully Paleotrex will stand. There he goes. Yeah, again, he's a little bit of trouble standing up, but anyways, getting in close on that head sculpt. Now what happens is this actually doubles as the mace for Optimus Primal. So what you can do, there's a joint, there's a hinge here, and that allows this plate to come down and form a skull look. So very, very cool. And that is the mace for Optimus Primal. So we'll definitely show that off when we have Optimus Primal out here. So very, very cool. Let's put his head back in there, and let's get Paleotrex transformed into his fossil Dino T-Rex mode. All right, so here we have Paleotrex all transformed into its Dino T-Rex mode. And take a close look at him. Very, very cool, especially the Dino fossil head here. Very nice attention to detail. It almost looks like it came straight from a museum display. Very, very cool. I love the color fade here and just the overall attention to detail on the head sculpt. So very cool. You got some molded in teeth there, which are very nice. And not much else on the inside of the mouth there, but very, very cool. Now, I purposely left the head off. You can plug the head in there and it kind of fills this cavity a little bit. But I think because it is a fossil, you know, it probably shouldn't have a head sticking out in the middle of its dino mode. So anyways, just going down the figure, you can see kind of where everything fits in. Very, very cool. I really love the dino mode. Very nice. And again, I'm not going to go into too much articulation. The only thing that's different between this and the robot mode is these little Dino T-Rex hands are on a ball joint here, so they can swivel up and down. And a little bit of side-to-side motion there. Unfortunately, you know, the mouth opens and closes and can go up and down like this, and we get a little bit of motion here. But unfortunately, there is no side-to-side. Side-to-side would have been nice if they found a way to sort of go side to side with the head, but as it is now, you can just go up and down. Other articulation is in the tail. There's a hinge joint here, so you can put the tail up like that or down, and you can basically display it any way you'd like. And again, the what are the robot mode feet become the Dinobot legs here. And there is articulation again, that same articulation we saw in the robot mode for the feet. So you can get them in some poses, but I like to just have this sort of, you know, like a classic sort of T-Rex dinosaur kind of museum stance here we have. So again, a little bit of trouble standing up here, but there we go. Finally get him to stand up. So just a quick size comparison, bringing in Kingdom Cheetor here. So that's sort of how they scale together. Let me just zoom out a little bit here. And there they are. So there you have Paleotrex and Cheetor, and they scale okay together. Seems like the T-Rex should be a lot bigger than Cheetor, but it is what it is. So taking Cheetor out of the picture. And let's get him pulled apart and see how he integrates with Kingdom Warpath. Okay, so we'll leave you with this image here of Warpath all armored up with Paleotrex and how he integrates with other figures. So this is just one configuration. This is basically what you see on the back of the packaging. So very, very cool. Again, I really think this concept of having the fossilizers is just so fitting for the Kingdom line. It really does add a lot of playability and just all around coolness and just there's so much you can do with it. So anyways, this has been a review for Transformers War for Cybertron Kingdom Deluxe Class Paleotrex, and we'll leave you here with this image of him in Warpath. Thanks for watching. This has been Matt in Japan. Please like, comment, and subscribe.